Everyone, and welcome. In Monaco, we've just had a successful race in the podium tier, and now it's time for the Pinnacle boys at 9 p.m. I've got alongside me a former multiple winner here himself, who's never lost a race, a league race in F1 TS Hub around a street circuit. We have 16 drivers plus Chris Mist joining the session on time, so he's going to have to start from the back of the grid. But we've got 17 drivers today in the Pinnacle tier. BSES is back. He after missing last week. Jono, how's it going?
It's going good, thanks Nick, and I'm looking forward to seeing these boys go out in quali and hopefully hit some good laps.
Yeah, definitely. You yourself know how to put it on pole position here. As we're seeing the internet having a little bit of issue at the moment with my broadcast, so apologies if the connection isn't as good as should be. I am a little bit bunged up, under the weather, so my apologies if you can hear that in my voice. But we've got 10.5 minutes left now, Jono, and this is definitely a session where qualifying is so important, and to keep it out the walls here, there's a lot of pressure to get a good lap, no mistakes. Who are you expecting to challenge at the top today?
Got to say, MLA, based on previous form, is looking strong. We know he's consistent, and it's so important here to focus, to build up the speed and go for it. I think fueling low and go for one lap here is difficult. I always prefer to put a bit more fuel in and maybe do 2 or 3 flying laps in a row. Tyre wear's quite low, and you do need to build into that ultimate lap. Yeah,
definitely. As you said, building up to the lap is really important here. This is an easy one-stop race. I expect a few front wing changes though. But first of all, let's welcome everyone who's watching the stream. Thank you for joining us. Let's also welcome a new driver who, is Dan Bluebird. He is on an outlap currently. He's joining the Pinnacle tier from now on, and also a premium member. So thank you very much to him for all his support. We've got BSAS back. Absolutely. As we said, he missed last week, so he's back. We've also got Cliffy, so the defending Constructors' Championship with Red Bull. He is now driving in the Haas alongside Odems, so he's returned to the league after racing in seasons 7, 8 and 9, so a big welcome back to him. Cobblers, who thought he was going to be unable to race, of course he was racing in the Haas for the previous 5 rounds. Due to a shift change, he thought he'd have to give up his drive, but he's managed to change that around, and Compact has made way, and Cobblers is in the Renault now. So quite a few changes, but it's all for the best part. And Stifler, who joined last week, is in the Sauber.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Cliffy goes. I've raced with him many times in the past. We know he's a really quick driver, and I think he can definitely cement himself as one of the top drivers in this league quite early on, if he can carry on his previous form from last time he was in the league.
Yeah, definitely. Just to point out that Sean is out on track. This is the first time I've seen him come out in a qualifying session, not within the last 3 minutes. The previous 5 rounds, he's only come out in the last 3 minutes of qualifying. So he obviously feels the need to get more than one run in here, as we're seeing every driver out on track except for Pinnacle and D90. So Odems is on an outlap, but Clifford's Red is already in first. And look at the gap between him and James. Only the last number, which is just a 2, wow, the difference between the two of them.
Of course, it's a really short lap here, so there's often very little separating people, which again tempts you to push as hard as you possibly can. And of course, with the walls so near the track, it really is do or die. I'm on board with Cliffy at the moment. He's pushing really hard. He's brushing a few walls. You can tell he's leaving absolutely nothing out there. He's fully committed into the final chicane. Another tap of the wall as he goes into the penultimate corner, and now into turn 18, straighten the car up as quick as he can and away, and let's have a look at what lap time he sets.
So within 0.2 of BSAS, who whilst we were riding on board with Cliffy, absolutely destroyed the previous best time with a 1:10.2, so Cliffy just under a couple tenths behind. These two do have history of racing together, so they'll be looking forward to battling out at F1 TS Hub for the first time in their career. Stifler is out of this session. I believe he had an incident just as Cliffy passed him in the last sector, where he spun it. Didn't look like his car was damaged, but he's obviously come to the pits maybe and retired from the session. So that's the correct thing to do if you do want to voluntarily retire. Riding on board with Odems, who's had a good first sector. He's going through to back and coming up to the swimming pool section. Again, he's getting very close to the walls, just like Cliffy was. So these two Haas drivers are very quick, and you have to say it's a very good competitive pairing, Jono.
It is. They're going to be definitely a team to watch for the remainder of the season. As Odems just crosses the line, where's this going to put him?
He must have cut a corner, so he must have.
Yeah, he goes again. Wow, 5 minutes left on the clock. 6 minutes left on the clock. Odems must be feeling a little bit of pressure now. You know you've got to get that lap in. Personally, I always prefer to get a banker in, leave a bit of time on the table for my first run, so you can really go all out towards the end of the session. But Odems obviously pushing from word go. Yeah,
definitely, and we've actually got MLA down in 5th at the moment, 1.3 seconds off Bisas time. So after dominating last week with Bisas not here, he's definitely got to find a little bit more pace within that car. Hello to everyone watching. We've got some podium boys who have tuned in to see if the Pinnacle boys can keep it as clean as they did. But this is going to be an exciting end to the session, as we've got most drivers in the pits, obviously putting a bit more fuel. And yeah, Odems whacked that quite hard there. I don't think he lost any wing, but he was lucky. So is he going to pit, or is he going to finish this lap? He is going to finish this lap, so he'll be bolting back after this one to get a new set of boots. But this is going to be, I imagine, 3rd place. Yeah, it is 3rd place.
Time. Yeah. You really want to be on the front 2 rows here. I always think any further back and you're in that mid-pack, anything can happen into turn 1. You want to be on the first couple of rows to give yourself a really good chance in the race, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and Odems hit the wall there, and his front wing's gone.
So yeah, half of his front wing is left on the track. Yellow flags, that's why they were out. So he's going to be getting back to the pits, making this change. Chris, of course, unfortunately is in 17th place. He'll be starting last as Dan kindly gets out of the way. Unfortunately wasn't able to join in time. But Sean, the Mercedes, both Mercedes actually 5th and 6th now. So not as what they would have hoped for, as it looks like the sun's gone in a little bit. So perhaps these drivers are going to have to face a bit of cloudy weather, a bit of overcast. But Bisas, he's done a quick lap, so is Cliffy. Bisas has come back out, and I'll be looking forward to seeing those two continue to battle for this pole position.
Definitely.
So we've got Dan the Bluebird.
You mentioned the clouds, and I always think it's maybe psychological, but we often practiced in the sunshine for Monaco, and then when you came to the qualifying or the race, if it was cloudy, you always felt there was a bit less grip, and it always just stopped me from my ultimate pace. I always wanted this blue sunshine to give yourself the best chance at Monaco.
Yeah, definitely, Jono. Dan the Bluebird is in 9th position, so in his first qualifying session, he's in the top 10. Saying that, Enneke just went 10th position on that latest flying lap, so we've still got D90, Dan, Jaw and GoTony to set a lap time, so perhaps they're struggling to get a clean one in, but they're going to need to do so soon.
After his 3rd place finish last time out, 2nd place finish last time out.
Second, actually, yeah, exactly.
He'll be looking to get a good lap in the last 2.5 minutes of the session.
Yeah, definitely. So pressure on for these guys, Jono, and you're a man who knows all about pressure when it comes to nailing a lap round this track. What do these drivers need to be thinking about, or clearing their mind in a sense, as they venture on to start what will soon be their final run?
Like you say, I think it's about clearing your mind rather than thinking. If you think too much around here, you'll crash. The corners come thick and fast. You've just got to treat it as much like a practice session as you possibly can. They've all probably done doubtless many laps in practice over the week. You've just got to put in one more lap. You've just got to nail that lap and try not to put too much pressure on yourself when it counts.
Yeah, definitely. So we're riding on board.
Yellow in sector 2.
Yeah, that was a Mercedes getting out of the way for D90,
okay.
Who's on a quick lap. So a low 19, high 18 is what we're looking for in the first sector. Not too sure of the middle, but we know what we're looking for in the third, as Bisas is on provisional pole. Cliffy is out there as well. Everyone out on track now, so we've got 16 drivers on a track that's, you know, one of the shortest on the calendar. This is going to be difficult place to get not only a clean lap but a competitive lap. So D90 goes up to 7th position as Sean comes into the pits. So he's not going to be able to get serviced and back out again.
No.
So his session's done. He's got no front wing. So that will explain what's happening there. But BSAS, can anyone stop him?
MLA's just going around the final corner now. Bit of a loss of traction out of the final corner. Let's see what he can do.
He goes third. Cliffy's now exiting the final corner. He's had a very good first sector. What can he do now? Can he improve? And his time didn't change, so perhaps he got invalidated.
Yeah,
he's got another chance at this. We've got 50 seconds left, under 50 now. We've got Dan, Joel, Cobblers, and Sean all in the pits. Stifler as well will be setting another time. So, if my maths is correct, Jonah, that's 11 drivers. We're gonna have to wait and see how the positions change. Quite a big gap as well. There doesn't seem to be too many close times up on that leaderboards on the left hand side of your screen, guys. But BSAS is on a hot lap, so is Cliffy, so is MLA, so is Odems, the top 4 at the moment. James as well, top 5. What can these guys do?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. BSAS and Cliffy have got a bit of a margin to the rest of the field at the moment as well, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone can get close on their final run.
Here comes MLA. This is going to be his final time. I'm not going to ride on board completely with him across the line, as he improves, but it's only enough for third position. Here comes Cliffy. What can the current Constructors' Championship do? He improves, but it's not enough. Odems has finished his lap. Clifford has moved up to 5th position, knocking James down, and he's got another chance as well. He's got quite a bit of fuel in as he loses a bit of front wing. That's going to affect his time. James is down in the middle sector as BSAS retires, so I can only think that was voluntarily. Yes, it was. He wasn't up, so he's called it a day. Clippers Red, as we said, lost a bit of wing. D90's retired, and I was caught there running on board with James as he crossed the line, which means I won't be able to.
Pipped MLA there as well into third.
Wow! So within half a second, so it did get a lot closer there. Those top 4.
He did. That was a good lap from Odems there. He mentioned, I know, a couple of times this week that he was struggling a bit with Monaco on the pad, but he's pulled out a really good lap there in the end.
Yeah, definitely. But BSAS, he's back. And he's better than ever. Pole position. As long as we don't see any penalties change this, we're just waiting for the timer to run out now. But hello to everyone watching. This is the Pinnacle tier, and as you can see, we're racing around the streets of Monaco. Looking a little bit cloudy up there. BSAS looks set to take pole position once again this season, so he's really racking up the stats, Jono. He's done a fantastic job today, and it was his banker lap that was the one that counted.
It seemed he was able to really just switch it on immediately. It's also a sign of a confident driver and a naturally quick driver when they go straight out there and put in that good lap instantly. Surprising to see Dan though down in 11th place as well. He's got a lot of work to do to get anywhere up towards the podium today.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got 17 runners today. Of course, Chris wasn't able to get in time to complete qualifying, but he will be able to race. Perhaps starting down the back, Jono. This is one of his favourite tracks. Isn't the worst place to start. Safety car, which we didn't see in the podium tier at 7 PM. Perhaps it will make an appearance for us here to spice up strategy a little bit. But BSAS will be hoping for what I'd like to say a Jono style.
As you say with Chris, he pushed me really hard last time I raced here in season 8. I just nicked pole off him at the very end, so since we started last, he's got loads of work to do, but as you say, it's maybe better than being in the middle of the grid, to be honest. He'll be actually hoping for incidents and safety cars ahead, so he can exploit the pace he probably has in the car, and I think if he could have been in quali, I'd expect him to be up towards the top 5, so he'll be disappointed, but he's got to put it behind him now and just concentrate on the race.
Yeah, definitely, Jono. Speaking of the race, we are shortly about to get these confirmation of the results. So there we are. BSAS puts it on pole, a 1:10.2. Cliffy in his first race back for season 10. He said he missed racing with us, and he's shown exactly why. Puts it on the front row. Odems is in third. He nicks that off MLA at the last moment. MLA in 4th, Clifford in 5th, James in 6th, Sean in 7th, D90 in 8th, 9th is Matt, 10th is Dan, Bluebird, 11th is Dan, 12th Joel, 13th Cobblers, 15th Etiquette, 15th Stifler, 16th Go Tony, and Chris will line up 17th on the grid. So well done to them. We didn't see anyone hit the wall and retire, so that was a good sign. Perhaps they're waiting for the race to do that, but I expect to see a lot of carbon fibre today, Jono, and those front wings that we're looking at in the pit lane will be used, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Front wings guaranteed to get through pretty quick here. It's always the beginning of the race before you settle down, and then towards the end, concentration starts to wane, and that's when mistakes can happen.
Yeah, definitely. It is a track that you need to keep your concentration at. As we wait for the timer to count down, drivers are picking their strategies still and adjusting their fuel. As we said, a one-stop strategy here is going to be the most likely outcome. Formation lap. Here we go. This will give us a chance to see who is on what tyre. So let's have a quick look. We can see everyone is on the ultra soft except for Cobblers, Etiquette, and Chris, who is starting 17th place. So we are going to see mostly a one stop, but I'm sure any other stop will be unscheduled. But we won't mind, Jono. We love a bit of action around Monaco. If you see disqualification, please ignore it. It is only from the formation lap for making contact. But what's going through these drivers' mind, Jono? This is such a pressure moment for all of them, whether they're in first position or last position. There's so much pressure on putting in a good performance and just making it through that first lap with your car intact.
Definitely, this was always the most nervous race of the season for me, because it's only partially in your hands. There can be so much chaos on that first lap. Personally, once I crossed the line to start lap 2, although there was a long way to go, there was always quite a big sigh of relief for me to just know I survived the beginning of the race, and then I could settle in and drive my race and see what happens from there on in. But it's always a large dose of luck involved if you're in the middle of the pack and you're relying on others at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, and it's not always your fault. Sometimes you can just be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
That's it.
As you said, 17 drivers, they don't go into one corner very smoothly, but BSAS, he's put himself in the best position. Starts are a lot more varied on this game, so perhaps that some drivers can take some confidence from that, but there isn't much overtaking opportunities throughout the latter of the race.
Yeah, it's a short run to turn 1 as well, so I always just hope to hold station, to be honest. I didn't want to push my luck too much into that first corner.
Yeah, the first corner is easy to get sucked into in the braking zone, but here we go, Jono. We are here, Season 10, the Pinnacle tier, the Monaco Grand Prix. The lights are coming on. We're up to 3, 4, 5. Here we go. We're away. BSAT has a good start. Cliffy doesn't get that good of a start. Odems looks like to be challenging up to second down the inside. He gets through, so the two Haas drivers not fighting it too hard then. I haven't seen any spinners yet. It looks pretty clean to me. BSAT has got a massive lead. I'm not sure what happened. So we're seeing Mercedes trying to go round past. Yeah, the Mercedes has got past Cliffy. So Odems. So Odems has dropped down after initially making a good start. Cliffy's back up to second place. We've got yellow flags in Sector 1. John, I'm not sure what those are for. Yellow flags in Sector 2. Look at all these cars.
Often crunch on the first lap.
It is indeed, it is indeed. Let's have a quick look at the position change. We can see the biggest losers and the biggest winners. Chris is up 3. Go Tony's down. D90's down quite a bit. James is down 5. As we said, TS Odems is down 1 position. But the biggest gainers in that are Dan, who's up. So he's up to 8th position, as looks like Cliffy nicked the wall there. I think we're going to have to ride on board with some of these guys, and we'll see who's got wing damage. Cliffy definitely has wing damage. I can see now as he comes into the pits.
You've got to say as well, BSAS 5-second lead already as they went into the last corner there.
Wow, that's amazing. Stifler's retired from the race, so he's binned it just before the swimming pool chicane. He looks to have lost his car. That's what we saw the 2 Ferrari drivers DNF in the podium tier earlier on tonight at 7 PM. So he's the latest driver to fall victim two fast left right-handers, and it is hard to control the car there. But we've got a few drivers into the pits. We'll run through that, wait until they've all come out, and we can get an exact order.
Yeah, Cliffy's come out on the soft, so he'll be open to go to the end. It looks like Chris has been in an incident as well, perhaps, has he? It says he's in the pits.
Yeah, we've got quite
a few comings together with the wall or other cars at the back end of the field, for sure. And that's really, really hurt Cliffy's race well. After that great qualifying session, he's got a lot of work to do now to make it to the end on those soft tyres, which although they're durable, they just lack pace, and he'll be frustrated behind slower cars.
Yeah, anyone who have pitted will be now hoping for a safety car to bring him back into play. Again, the car is in a silly position, yet no safety car. So Cobblers has got no front wing. He's left the session. Don't know if he's going to be able to get back in, but he's obviously heavily damaged. As we see Clifford's Red now come into the pit. He was in 4th position. So let's have a quick run through. Cobblers is back in. He'll have to make a pit stop though. We have got BSAT in 1st, MLA in 2nd, Odem's in 3rd position. Matt is in, Sean is in 4th, Matt is in 5th, Dan is in 6th, Joe is in 7th, Etiquette, his teammate, is in 8th position. Clifford's Red is going to come out the pits down in 11th, which moves D19 Cliffy up into the top 10.
Sorry, I think Chris is getting impatient. He's bouncing off the walls. He's already lost his wing again. I believe he's already been in the pits.
Yes, he's been in, and now he's got a penalty, Jono, so it has been a bad day from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, another race, you know, which I know he's gonna blame quali for that, but you know, the race is a different story. Wherever position you start, the race is a different session, and you know, you can't get frustrated around this track. You just can't do it.
Yeah, especially here at Monaco, you know there's a massive chance for safety cars later in the race. You've got to try and keep your head, and amazing what positions you can actually pick up due to chaos in the race later on, if you can just keep it clean.
Yeah, definitely. No penalties as well, Jono. If you can get no penalties, you can often gain.
Oh, Chris has come back out and hit the Mercedes on the exit of the pit lane. I think he might have damaged his wing again.
Yes, he has. He's got end plate damage.
He just came out of the pits as the Mercedes went by, and he didn't give room, and they came together.
I believe Chris is being lapped there, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
Jono.
I think he must be being lapped.
So obviously, you know, it would have been his job to make sure that he got out of the way and knew what cars are around him. But yeah, he's got wing damage. He's all over the back of this Toro Rosso.
He's understeering.
Yeah, he's hit the wall again. He needs to be careful here. He's a lap down on these drivers.
He's gonna go for this.
Yeah, Chris not abiding by blue flags. This is unacceptable in my opinion. He needs to let those faster guys through. In fact, Tony.
He's hit him into the wall, and he's made him retire. Tony's retired. Chris just pushed him into the wall there, certainly on my view, anyway. Yes,
and and now Chris is not letting these lap cars through. That is totally unacceptable and inexcusable for a champion, the defending champion, in my opinion, Jono.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, totally unacceptable driving there from him, and the stewards will not be looking kindly on that after the race, that is for sure.
Yes, but Beatshouse is in the lead by just under 10 seconds. What's happened at Odem's?
Yeah, it's the half. He was going so well, but I believe he's got wing damage from that.
Heavy wing damage.
Yeah.
So these Mercedes, they didn't do their best quality, but they kept it clean. And yeah, wow, it's been a good strong race for those Mercedes, but Beats has 10-second lead. We haven't got too many close battles. We can see that James Slater is the only one, I believe, in DRS at the moment. As we see Go Tony, poor guy. You know, he was racing at the back of the field, but you know, Chris decided to take matters into his own hands, and I think we definitely need to keep an eye on the Ferrari driver throughout the rest of this race. But that definitely doesn't show himself or this league in a good light, because that is not how we race. And fortunately for Chris,
honest, looking at what happened there, I don't think whatever result Chris does get at the end of this race will slip, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, as he gets another time penalty, so he's you know, this hasn't been the best season for the season 7 champ, but he's not helping matters now. I know he's frustrated he couldn't qualify, but it's no excuse. And I believe he's a lap down on these guys, so he needs as he bins it.
Off this wing.
Yeah, so I think Chris should call it a day, and just
I agree.
And just retire safely in the pits before he causes further damage. But Jono, we can see that Cliffy.
Field, by the way. Yep,
Carry on, mate.
No, just going to say Dan is moving up behind Matt in 4th and 5th positions. He's just over a second behind.
Yeah, so
we might have a battle developing there. Dan, as we say, started 11th, which I was a bit surprised about, but he's already up to 5th place on lap 7. We know he can be consistent, so let's see where he can finish up from here.
Yeah, definitely. Cliffy is all over the back of the Red Bull of Etiquette. They both pitted on the same lap, so he's going to want to get past him. We'll ride on board with this one for a minute. This is the closest battle up and down the field. Can Cliffy do? Of course, he started on the front row, so we don't know exactly what happened. He's all over the back of him. He's got so much more pace than the Red Bull driver
as well. He's on the soft.
Yeah, he needs to get this job done. And perhaps his race isn't over, Jono. You know, so much can happen. We were only on lap 7 out of 39. And is he going to sling it down the inside? Ooh. And the Red Bull gives him room. Did he hit the wall?
No, not quite. No, okay. There's a good move in the end.
So now Clifford's Red's all over the back of the Red Bull. So Toro Rosso versus the sister team. And this will be interesting as Odem now comes to join this. As is the Toro Rosso going to go down the inside? He does. And you have to say, Jono, absolute fair play to an Etiquette in 9th position now. He's left drivers room. He saw they were quicker, and he hasn't fought it too hard, and very respectful driving in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. It's what you've got to do. If you're blatantly struggling because of tyre wear at that point compared to the drivers around you, you just don't want to battle too hard. It's too easy to come together. If they're quicker than you, defend as to a fair amount, then let them go and try and get towed along by them. It's surprising how much quicker you can go actually if you're falling behind a quicker car. You can get sucked along and you can gain quite a few seconds actually over the race by doing that.
Yeah, definitely. We got James on the back of Dan, the Bluebird, who of course is in his debut race with the league. He's sitting in 11th place. So if we just run down who has pitted as Odem now gets ahead of the Red Bull into 9th. So Etiquette is down into 10th. We'll run through who's pitted. Cliffy, Clifford's Red, TS Odems, Dan the Bluebird, James, Dynasty, Cobblers have all made 1 stop. Chris has made 4. Go Tony and Stifler are out of this race. Cobblers has got back in the session, I believe. Yes, he has indeed. So he's back racing. He's about to be lapped, but Bisas has a 13-second lead now over MLA. So see a bit of carbon fibre on the track. Yeah, this is proving to be a pretty entertaining race so far. And yeah, we got. Let's have a quick eye on Chris. No, his front wing still isn't intact, so he's made another contact with the barrier. His day is going from bad to worse.
I'm on board with him. He's pulling away at such a rate, and he is pushing the limits of the track as well. Although he looks smooth, he is right up against the barriers, and obviously super confident in his car. But I think with that much of a lead, I'd be tempted to back off just a touch, just to play it safe. There's a long way to go though, and at the same time, you want to keep in your rhythm. If he's comfortable at this pace, I guess keep on going.
Yeah, definitely. If he's in a rhythm, Jono, perhaps he just wants to stay in that rhythm and keep that concentration level up, which looks to me like he's doing a very good job of. We've got a time penalty for him now, though, so that just shows you he is really pushing.
Yeah, he's
and that's
pushing.
a 3-second time penalty, which of course lost him the race in Russia, I believe, as he touches the inside wall there. Chris gets another time penalty at the back of the field.
Draw and Cliffy quite close on track. Well, now Cliffy can do from here. He's what position's he in now? He's in 6th and he's on the soft to the end. So he's still got a good result out of this.
He's actually the first. Well, I say the front runners of all the drivers who have stopped. So he is about quite a way off the lead. But as I said, the pit stop here, Jono, it surprised me how slow it was. Of course, it's such a slow speed limiter, because it is so narrow and short. So a pit stop does cost you a lot of time here, so perhaps he'll gain quite a few places as we see Odems get past Clifford's Red into the last corner, but gets a sloppy exit. Can the Toro Rosso driver get back through? Got DRS open, but Odems defends pretty well. They kept that pretty clean, which is quite good. They're just about to get onto the back of Jaw.
Surprised, I'm on board with Jaw actually. He's got quite bad wing damage, I think, and going around on those ultras, I'm amazed he hasn't pitted onto another tyre to get a fresh wing, because I think he's losing a lot of time with that front wing as it is.
Yeah, front wing will cost you a lot of time here, especially in the final sector, and perhaps it's not always the time that it costs you, it's the danger that you put yourself in ending your race.
We'll see he's understeering in the almost all the corners. He's struggling with turning so much. Odem's so much quicker. Would he go for a move here?
Definitely knowing Odems.
No, oh, that was...
Joel gets a penalty for that, cutting the corner. That was pretty close. I don't think Odems will go for it here.
Being aggressive.
He's definitely got the pace to get past the Haas driver. But the Red Bull of Joel proving as he hits...
I think he lost a bit of his wing there, Odems. He's been so aggressive. Oh.
He paused it there and ghosted. What's Clifford's Red going to do? Is he going to be able to get through? As Odems crashes it into the wall last corner and Clifford's Red follows him. Loses a bit of front wing, so if you're going to crash, that's the worst place to do it.
You could just see the impatience in Odems driving. And then Dan inside there of Clifford's Red as well into turn 1.
Yeah, with no front wing.
And Dan has got Clifford's Red.
So very aggressive driving from Odems there. Clifford's Red struggling to keep this on track. As is Odems, he has no front wing. Just needs to be a little bit more careful here, the quicker drivers, I think.
Yeah, if Odems has got, he's obviously really struggling with the wing now. He needs to always cut that.
They both got a penalty there.
Odems needs to not get tangled up with these guys while he's got such heavy wing damage. They're going to be quicker than him behind. There's quite a train behind now, by looking at actually 3 cars.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, and this is the closest battle. Etiquette is on the back of Clifford's Red now, so he's going to want past, that's for sure. Clifford's Red's going to be struggling with that wing damage. You've got James there as well, ready to pounce. As Clifford Red goes wide, and do you know what? I think he didn't really fight that. He knew what was coming, and he didn't have the grip. So he didn't put up too much of a fight to the Red Bull. Odems gets another penalty, so... James thinks about going down the inside, realises that Clifford's going to pit. So that was clever thinking by James there to anticipate what was about to happen. But yeah, they're both in the pits, Jono, for a front wing change.
They are, no other choice. If you've got wing damage like that, you've just got to pit. First opportunity, there's no point struggling online with it. You've got to pit, fresh tyres, new wing, get back out there and go again. Yes,
it's proving to be a very good race so far in terms of bit of entertainment, as we see Dan in the McLaren, Dan the Bluebird I should say, now on the back of Jaw. So Dan the Bluebird is good friends with what we know as Dan, so I can see us getting a little bit confused for the rest of the season with those two. But just to mention, Jono, obviously you're joining me in the commentary box this week for the Pinnacle tier. Alan of course is absent today, so he is doing fine though. There's nothing wrong with him. He's just unable to make it tonight. So the McLaren goes down the thinks about it, and you have to say backs out. A very sensible thing to do. Otherwise, that was going to be a race-ending incident. But he's definitely got the superior grip and pace at this point.
He has. That corner where he backed out of as well. You see so many accidents there as he now gets freed up as the car ahead pits, and now he can push on in a bit of clear air on his super softs. And he's making decent progress. Just running on board with James, and he's got DRS, but he hasn't opened it, which is a little bit strange. Perhaps he doesn't want to get sucked into. Odems has retired from the race. Odems has retired. Yeah. He's binned it in the final sector just before the penultimate corner. In a dangerous position. Will we actually, for once, see a safety car when there's a car in a dangerous position? My guess is we won't, as his wheel hobbles under his car. Disappointing race for him. It's a tense moment for the drivers as well, when there's at this moment you're trying to work out in your head, if the safety car comes out, do I pit, don't I pit, what tyres do I fit? It's always a bit frantic in your mind while you're trying to negotiate this Monaco track while working out your strategy.
Yeah, definitely. So let's run through the field. We're just hearing that Cobblers isn't actually in the race. So although it says he is, he got disconnected, and yeah, unfortunately for him, he's unable to rejoin, which is disappointing. We've got Beatas with over a 20-second lead over MLA and his teammates. Sure, we've got yellow flags in Sector 1. I wonder what that's for.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't see anything either.
Oh, Beast's 21-second lead, and yet he's bouncing off the barriers on the exit of turn 1. Still absolutely full commitment from him.
D90's got a little bit of front wing damage, so perhaps that was he was the reason. But yeah, Chris having made now 5 pit stops in his Ferrari, so those mechanics have been busy today. But yeah, the front 5 all on the Ultrasofts, having yet to stop. As you mentioned, Dan, as I say that, Matt comes into the pits, but Dan's having a good race again, Jono.
He is, he's working his way quite up the field, now into 4. And yeah, he's doing everything right. He's driving Monaco as he should, especially starting from the position he did. Just picking drivers off as they pit and make mistakes around him, and so far, he's kept it mistake-free himself.
Beast just to mention, got another penalty there, Jono, so that's 2 I've seen. That cuts his lead by 6 seconds to MLA, so he needs to be careful. A safety car here could really hurt his race. He does obviously have a big margin, but yeah, the current championship leader MLA is behind him. Matt is in 5th position. Cliffy is coming out the pit, so he's pitted again. He's on the super soft. He's just going to come out as we ride on board just ahead of James in 7th.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on board with Clifford's Red in 10th. He's just got some weird, he's got a lot of lag on my screen. His car suddenly started bouncing all over the place. He's close behind Draw. Somebody else has come out of the pits. Did James Slater's come out of the pits? Is it ahead of them? Oh, that's Cobblers.
Sean's come in from 3rd position. He's having a front wing change as well, so presumably he had damage, as we see that beautiful safety car, which doesn't get used in this game, even though cars crash and leave their car in the middle of the track. But anyway, we won't get into that. We can see that he's going to come out comfortably in 4th position. Cuts over the yellow line. It is a little bit difficult to exit that pit, so we forgive you for that, Sean. When are the leaders gonna blink? We're on lap 16 out of 39. It is definitely a one stop for those who have managed to not get damage. As we see, Matt's got no front wing. So Matt in 5th position, he was having such a good race, has no front wing. He's struggling here. He needs to be careful not to completely destroy his car. So that's really unfortunate for him. Future pits now, he's going to come out in 8th, but he's going to lose so much time, Jono.
Yeah, he is. It feels like a long lap. It might only be whatever it was in quali, a minute and 12 seconds, but it feels like a lifetime when you've got no front wing. And the understeer is, this feels like a driving a shopping trolley, to be honest. And you've just got to bounce away off the walls and try and get back to the pits as quick as you can.
MLA comes into the pits, so he's reacted to his teammate. He was only a few seconds behind. He's going to come out back in 2nd place. So these leaders have extremely high pace at the moment. Cliffy is in 7th. Let's just note he's made 2 pit stops, but he's going to the end now. Speaking of Cliffy, he just got a penalty. He's just behind Dan the Bluebird. 3 tenths. I'm going to ride on board with these boys because I imagine Cliffy won't want to stay there too much longer.
Absolutely not. And as you say that, Beast has pitted. He's in the pits right now.
So yeah, a shout out to Bisas, who is absolutely dominating a Jono-like Monaco Grand Prix, as D90 gets another penalty. So they're coming thick and fast now. Matt's made it back to the pits. Cliffy hasn't got past yet. Casino, he really wants past. Is he going to try into Maribou? Sling it down the inside, gets a good exit. Dan Bluebird gives him room, and textbook move, and you have to say, very respectful driving from Dan the Bluebird.
Yeah, it was. Monaco, you need the other driver to be respectful. They've got to give way when the time's right, or there will be contact. And Dan did that there. He's driving a good race.
Yeah, definitely. We just saw those yellow flags in Sector 2. I'm not too sure why that is, but Matt still appears to have no front wing. He did pit. He moves out the way to let Beatas through, and Clifford's red. So perhaps he's already missed the pit lane or something, but I thought I saw him come in. So he's obviously had another incident. So his race has gone from bad to worse to even worse. Meanwhile, just to quickly mention, Dan's coming to the pits. Sean did pass him on that previous lap, so that was for position. Of course, Dan hadn't pitted yet. So you'd have to say Dan's in a net P4, and Cliffy is in 5th position, having stopped twice. So it just shows you what could have been for Cliffy. His pace is right up there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. He'd been battling for a podium spot for sure. I suppose it's not out of the question yet in 5th place, but he'd have definitely been up there with MLA, possibly even Beastaf. Who knows if he hadn't had that damage. As Matt does now pit once again, he fit the soft tyres. That's 3 stops for him now today so far.
Chris is riding the wall in the tunnel. I'm not sure whether that's the quickest way to go around this track. I don't think it is. Yeah,
he's completely cut that chicane on the exit of the tunnel there as well.
So Sean sets the quickest lap of the race, and yeah, Chris is getting very close to those barriers indeed. But the two Red Bulls, Jono, they always seem to find each other on track, and they race really cleanly, both of them. So credit to them. But yeah, they always seem to be next to each other on track. So they're having a little inter-team battle.
Yeah, that's it. It's good when you have two teammates equal like that. You can play a pace against them throughout the season. You know where you stand, and yeah, they're obviously working well together with each other in the races as well, and fighting fair with each other. And I always think you need a good teammate battle to spice up the season, and that's what they're having.
Yeah, definitely. So Dan's exiting the pits. And that just shows you how quick Beastas is. He's just about to lap 7th position. So,
yeah.
As Dan's retired from the session, I was riding on board with him.
Yeah, I can see he's disconnected or something. His car's ghosting.
Very strange that he's retired, because he has a little bit of left front wing damage. So I'm not sure what happened there, but it looked like he ghosted. So that looks like a voluntary retire, but I just don't understand why he would have done that. We'll have to wait till after the race to find out exactly what's happened there, but his teammates benefited from that. He's now up to 7th position. Closest battle on track is got to be D90 on his teammate, so both Ferraris having a pretty terrible day. D90 isn't sure what Chris is doing, as Chris is I think this is Tony Hawk's Pro or something by grinding the barrier.
It looks like it. I wonder if Dan was involved in some sort of incident there that we saw off camera. I can just see him chatting there, and it sounds like perhaps there was contact with another driver.
Well, Beastas was coming past at that point, but it just looked like he was exiting the pits as D90 loses a bit of his front wing on his teammate Chris. So that is not how to race with your teammate, I guess. Not too sure what's going on there, but we'll leave those boys to sort that out, and we'll go back up to the front where Sean is got a penalty, but he's definitely catching his teammate now. 2.6 seconds. Do you think he's going to be able to challenge MLA?
Possibly. I mean, early on in the race, MLA has looked to have the pace. Be interesting to see how he does in the latter half of the race. But catching is one thing at Monaco, passing is another thing altogether.
So make sure you head over to Twitter, guys, and follow us at F1 TS Hub. You can sign up at the website to join our waiting list, which has got a bit slimmer this week. So if you do want to sign up, now is the time to do it. As Beastas sets the fastest lap of the race. www.f1tshub.com.
Yeah, I think it'll be well worth heading over to the website and to Twitter after this race as well. I think there'll be some spicy chat between a few of the drivers.
Yeah, definitely. They haven't managed to keep it as clean as the podium boys, so it just shows you, you know, you may be quick, but it's not all about being quick and having quick pace. But Dan the Bluebird is in 5th position. Let's just have a quick look. I don't think he stopped. So, yes, everyone having stopped at least once. Chris is leading the way on pit stops. Perhaps that's what he's going for now, with 6. His teammate is 4 pit stops. So between the two of them, they stopped 10 times in that Ferrari box. Their hands will be hurting.
Wow.
But we can see the
mechanics are running their money.
Yeah, definitely. They're being made to work today. But we've got Clifford's red mat and Etiquette on the soft tyre. Everyone else, Jono, on the super soft.
Yeah, that's it. It's interesting to see if the drivers can. There's a bit of gap between most of the drivers now. Whether they can settle into a bit of a rhythm now and maybe keep it clean for the last quarter of the race.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, the gap as well has come out between MLA and Sean, so MLA's been able to respond to his teammate.
Yeah.
Perhaps that position is going to stay. So we are on lap 23, does that say? 23 or 20?
It does.
23, so I can't believe we're on lap 23, still 16 to go. It is a short lap here, but it has gone pretty quickly and there's still plenty to go. Will there be a safety car, Jono? That would really change things around tonight.
It would really spice things up. I'm amazed you haven't seen them already. Odem's car sat right in the middle of the track, but as you say, I think the safety car driver must be off on holiday or something. It's just parked up there, or somebody's lost the keys, and there's no sign of it coming out. But I know this track, lap 23 we're on now, the race feels so long as a driver. It takes such focus and concentration. The laps look to tick by really slowly when you're out there driving.
Excuse me, yes, you're definitely right, Jono. Apologies if I'm coughing and sniffing. I'm a bit under the weather tonight, so if I sound a little bit funny too, that's why. But if you haven't seen already on Twitter, we've just announced we've got a Black Friday deal on the F1 TS Hub shop. So I did tell you last week, Jono, that there is going to be an offer coming with the shop, so you'll have to wait and find out exactly what that'll be. But it is definitely a good offer that we've got planned for next Friday, Black Friday of course, so make sure you tune in on Twitter. But yeah, it's just been
be there stocking up on my merch.
That's it, get your credit card ready. As you see Chris make another pit stop, so he's back onto the super soft tyre, and his teammate does as well. He's got a penalty as well, just to make matters worse. That's going to affect his teammate D90. That was not a very good planned strategic team pit stop, but 2 laps down now, Chris, and his teammate as well, D90. So it's been a terrible day for Ferrari, because the 2 Ferraris were tied in the podium tier as well.
Oh wow, that has been a bad day for them, and they're up to, what is it, that's 5 stops for D90 now and 7 for Chris. So they're up to, wow, that's a crazy number of pit stops for that Ferrari team, and I don't know if Chris is, he's probably not going to get fastest lap today, but maybe he's going for the record for most ever pit stops in the Monaco GP. If so, he's going the right way about it.
Yeah, definitely, he's going to have to be careful. He's got B-Sass just about to come and lap him again. That'll put him 3 laps down, as Sean gets a 3-second time penalty. So, haven't seen B-Sass pop up with one, so perhaps he's just curbed the pace a little bit, and it's just over 30 seconds now. So, Chris, is he going to get out of the way for... Yeah, he does indeed, so...
It's always a bit nerve-wracking at this track when you're lapping other cars, especially when you've got a lead like B-Staff. It can only go wrong from here, and as he does clip the inside wall there, I think, slightly, and half lost the car, but he carries on. But yeah, every lap car you come up to, you just hope that they'll get out the way, you hope that you'll judge it right, and it's all going well for him so far. 32-second lead, he can even afford to pit one more time and still come out in the lead. Yeah,
definitely, and Clippy's made it back up to 4th, so well done to him. His race obviously was largely affected by a lap 1 incident, which we weren't really sure exactly what happened with all the drivers on lap 1. They seemed to just switch around, and B-Sass just seemed to sail off into the distance. But good recovery drive from Cliffy as down the Bluebird pits. So this is a planned stop. He doesn't have damage to his front wing.
Pitted as well.
So see these drivers switching over to a 2-stop, another set of super softs. Another set of ultra softs for Dan, the Bluebird, and let's see what James is going to put on. He's also going to put the ultra softs on, so the fastest tyre available at this track and all season, as is that the Mercedes crew. Yes, it is. Sean has come into the pit, so Sean has switched to a two-stop strategy as well. He's having a front wing change again, so perhaps that explains why he's come into the pits. But
get him here?
yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Cliffy's exiting the last corner now. This is going to be close. I think Cliffy's going to get him.
I think he will, yeah. And there we go. Yep, Cliffy into a podium position. I said it was that's where he could have come without his incident, and he's back into third place. Really good recovery drive so far from him.
They've definitely given us something to look forward to commentating on in the closing stages of this race, because we know Sean is going to catch him only 2.3 seconds on the quick brand new ultra soft tyres, as we see Jaw closing in on Matt as well, so perhaps that's another battle we can look forward to commentating on, and hopefully the gloves stay on, but it's going to get pretty exciting towards the end of the race, as we've got yellow flags in sector 3, and that is Chris. He's finally decided to call it a day. He is retired voluntarily, looks like, on the pit straight. So again, drivers ignoring the call for the stewards have said if you're going to retire voluntarily, you need to do it in the pits. So I know that happened earlier, Jono, in the podium tier, so perhaps that's something that needs to be investigated, both obviously caught on the live stream. But BTAS leading this race as Clifford's Red gets a 3-second time penalty. Do you expect to see these results change a little bit after the time penalties are added on?
I think so. I think quite a lot of time penalties popping up at the bottom there. So I don't know who's got what quite, but we can definitely expect some quite hefty time penalties to be put on some of these drivers at the end of the race. They'll all be hoping that they've all got equal penalties, so it sort of balances out. But those that have kept it clean and avoided the cutting could well move up a position or two at the end.
Yeah, definitely. As we see, Sean has got the gap down to under 2 seconds to Cliffy, as there's no yellow flag, so D90 the other Ferrari, it's been a full house, so he has generally just binned it on the last corner. That front wing is gone and that Ferrari is going nowhere. Will we actually see a safety car? Probably not, because it is in a dangerous place. Codemasters don't like to bring out a safety car when it's actually intended to be brought out. So we've got double yellow flags, as we can see the marshals waving in the background. A bit of a great shot this is, but yeah, I'm sure D90 won't be thinking that. Down to 10 runners now. Of course, Cobblers wasn't able to rejoin. If he does finish in the points, he will get those points because his computer will score. Obviously, the AI driver level is set for both tiers to a slower pace than what anyone in that tier is capable of. But Jono, 1.2 seconds. Sean is now behind Cliffy. This is going to get a little bit tasty. These are some titans that are about to give us a show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. He's pushing so hard, Sean, as well, to close that gap. The cars are in low fuel now, 10 laps to go, ultra soft tyres. The car will feel great. It feels like a go-kart at this point in the race, and he'll just be absolutely nailing it now to try and close Cliffy down. I'm actually pretty impressed that Cliffy on those supers, he's sort of maintaining the gap. It's dropping a little bit, but I think Cliffy is driving pretty well, and I think it will take a really, really good move from Sean to actually pass Cliffy in these last few laps, as he did tap the wall there, I think, and he's got a little bit of front wing damage on that now, Sean, as well.
Yeah, he does have some end plate damage, so perhaps that's the third time this race that as he locks up there, keeps it out the wall, as we're seeing Cobbler's his computer. So MLA now reacts and has pitted. So where's he now going to come out? And why are these drivers, switching over to this two-stop strategy as Cliffy almost gets him? It's very strange.
Did he have damage MLA, or has he just switched to the two-stop?
I'm not sure at all. Obviously they feel BTAS is out of reach, so maybe they're just playing it safe, Jono. But tyre wear is an easy one stop here, so perhaps there was damage.
Yeah, perhaps so. I can see Cliffy and Sean both got damage, so I would expect MLA now on those brand new ultra softs and a intact front wing to quickly pull away from these two. But yeah, the battle between Sean and Cliffy could get good in these last few laps, although Cliffy's actually pulled away a little bit on this last lap, and it looks like Sean's got even more wing damage now, both end plates gone.
Yes, that took place in the tunnel. Jono, I was running on board when that happened, so a little bit of end play. It looks like Cliffy's got wing damage as well, to be fair. So a lot of drivers bringing their cars home a little bit wounded.
Yeah, Sean does pit. That was just pushing a bit too hard there. I think he had the pace to catch Cliffy on those quicker tyres, but he just pushed it over the limit a little bit. Damage to the front wing and in for another stop, and that will drop him down the field and surely out of contention now for that podium position.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dan Bluebird unfortunately won't be able to benefit from that. He is in 5th position though, so a solid job from him. If he finishes in 5th place, top 5 in his first race in the top tier, is going to be something to shout about, so congratulations to him if he does finish there. I don't like to say too much, because commentators' curse often has an effect on results whenever I do speak of them before they become true. But Bitas with a minute lead now. Domination at its absolute finest from the Williams driver.
Absolutely, it's just incredible pace, incredible consistency as well. He is the class on field here today without a doubt, and if he can hold on for the last 8 laps, it will be an absolutely well-deserved victory and a massive stamp of authority on the championship.
Yeah, definitely. As we see him get another 3-second time penalty, I don't think he really cares at this point.
No, you can afford a few of those now.
Yeah, definitely. Just a few. So, Jono, Bitas, first position. You finished the race first many a times. How does it feel to win the Monaco Grand Prix?
It feels amazing. I think it is the one. A lot of people, drivers, don't like the circuit. It's really difficult. That's why, I guess. But to win it, you do genuinely feel a massive sense of achievement, because as well as beating your rivals, you've beaten the track as well. You've kept it out the wall, and probably to win for the 39 laps, and it just feels great. It's such an effort to keep it clean for that long, and do it with the pace that Bitas has got here. He will be absolutely delighted if he can bring this home.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, he wants that trophy that we hand out at the end of the season. But Jaw is now right on the back of Matt, so we finally got someone within DRS, and perhaps this is going to put a little bit of a battle into 8th and 9th position, which will be nice to see and nice for us to commentate on. But Jono, any plans for, I know I asked you this last week, but seeing these drivers go around your favourite track as Matt now pits, that will forfeit the position. Any plans to make a comeback?
No plans at the moment. Watching just how difficult it is, watching these top drivers lose front wings and struggle around this circuit. It makes me glad that I'm relaxing with a drink, commentating rather than out there driving myself tonight.
Yeah, Sean takes the fastest lap, is definitely more comfortable in the commentary box, I have to say. But James Slater is now within DRS of Dan the Bluebird, so both very, very good and very fair drivers. So it'll be interesting to see these two battle, as James gains quite a lot in the braking zone. This helicopter shot is such a great view for us. You can really see where the car in front or behind gains time and loses time on their rivals. 0.6 of a second, DRS is open. He's using DRS this time, which is great to see. Can't get close enough this time around as he gets a 3-second time penalty. Clifford's Red now comes into the pits. So is he going to drop down behind Jor? Yes, I believe. Ooh, this will be close. Let's keep an eye on this, Jono. Jor and Clifford's Red are going to get a bit close as they exit the pit, I believe. Clifford's Red's leaving his box. Jaws exiting the last corners as a yellow flag in sector 2. So, and Jaw takes a position. So Clifford's Red exits now. And as I said, it's such a long pit lane here, so it really does cost you time when you have to make a stop.
Yeah, he's way behind now, isn't he? And yeah, I just wondered if James Slater will be able to make the move on Dan as well. That DRS zone on the pit straight, it's just pretty pointless, to be honest. You open the DRS, it gains you a few tenths, but unless the other driver has got a poor exit, you've really got no chance into turn 1, even with the DRS.
You've definitely got to, think of something. Razor in the podium tier was able to do a couple overtakes there, and I think it was just sheer surprise that the car in front did not expect him to sling it down the inside, and both times he made it stick, and it was a good pass. I know I did one on Charlie there in Season 8, and you really have to use the whole of the curb, because otherwise it's just too difficult, you know, to be able to give the car on the outside room and make the pass stick.
As we said before as well, you need to, as James Slater half spins it there. Yeah, you need the other driver to be compliant as well for that move into turn 1. You need the driver on the outside to give you that bit of space once you've got the inside line. Otherwise, you know, there can be contact so easily.
Definitely, so he's got wing damage, James Slater. That's going to halt his chances of making a top 5, as we see Matt's retired. So he's binned it at the swimming pool chicane. That is him down and out. Will we see a safety car again? Probably not. That is in probably the safest position that we've seen anyone retire in. He is now out of the race. Yeah. Yes, knowing the physics. Bitas is on lap 35 and 39. About to lap 3rd place, man, Cliffy. So we saw Kean dominate in the podium tier. We're seeing another Williams driver dominate in the Pinnacle tier. Perhaps it's that car, John, and you've had his success in the Williams before.
Yeah, the Williams seems to have a good streak of luck here. So looks like he's continuing that well and truly today.
So Cliffy, shout out to him, gets completely out of the way. Bisas adds a little salt into that by giving it a little weave on the straight. I'm sure Cliffy won't be laughing at that. But hey, if you've got that much confidence, Jono, you're going to use it.
You have to say there's been a good debut or return to TSF by Cliffy. You know, that one incident, but made his way up into a solid podium position with just a few laps to go, and I think he'll be pretty pleased overall with that on his comeback, and he's definitely shown the rest of the league that he means business.
Yeah, definitely he's here, and if Odems can, you know, keep it clean as well, they're definitely going to perhaps be able to challenge those Mercedes drivers who are running away with this Constructors title. And I know we're not biased at all, but we would definitely not want them to see the Mercedes take the crown. But Clifford's red meanwhile has made the pass on Jaw there, so we missed that. Jaw doesn't have damage, so perhaps it was just a mistake. But yeah, these drivers pushing it out. We've got lap 36 out of 39, and I have to say it's been a bit of an anti-climax to the race. And although we had an incident-packed first half in both tiers, both second half races, I think a safety car has meant that, you know, the field has spread out and denied off of some last-minute lunges.
Yeah, I think you pay the price with all that chaos early on, all the unscheduled pit stops. It does tend to spread the field out, and then you do end up with a more spread out field in the last sort of quarter of the race. Everyone just driving around on their own, trying to keep out the barriers.
Yeah, definitely. So here we are, lap 37 now out of 39. Hello to everyone who's watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are live here 7 PM every Friday night and 9 PM every Friday night for the Podium and Pinnacle tier. It's been a good night so far, Jono. Obviously I'm not feeling too well, but I've enjoyed watching these races, and I've enjoyed having you join me in the commentary box for the second week in a row.
Yeah, it's been good fun. It's interesting to be on the other side, watching these drivers go about their business from the comfort of my chair here, rather than sweating and panicking as you often do around this Monaco circuit.
Don't lie, Jono. You never used to panic. You never used to panic down here. It never seemed like it anyway. This is one track. You definitely always had the measure of me, if not many more, as James kindly gets out the way for the Mercedes there. Huge shout out to him for being so respectful. As Sean gets another penalty. There's a couple now, so needs to be careful. There's only so many you can get. I'm not sure how the disqualification works in terms of that this time, but yeah, this has been fantastic racing around the streets of Monaco. No rain, of course, no safety cars, but James is all over the back of Dan the Bluebird, who obviously got out the way for the leader there, and has fallen right into the grips of the Renault.
Yeah, he's lost out there, and the Renault will be hoping to pounce now with only, going on to the last lap shortly. So will he go for a do or die move in the last lap?
Yeah, and speaking of last lap, Bisas is about to start his final lap. He's on the penultimate lap. He's about to start the final one, 1minute and 5 second lead. So there aren't words to describe what's going to be written in the press room when it gets released next week, other than complete domination. But we'll go to this battle. It's the closest one. James has got past. Jono,
yeah,
we missed that.
He got by on the inside there as they braked at the top of the straight there. Yeah, he made the move into turn 3 and took the position.
Wow, so you don't often see a pass there. Not the easiest place to make it stick, especially with wing damage. Because remember, James does have wing damage, so he just needs to keep it together.
I wonder what Dan's tyre wear is like, because he looks to really be struggling in the traction zones, and that's how he made the move. He just got a much better exit from Sandoval, and then outbraked him into Massonnet. But I think Dan must be struggling with especially rear tyre wear, which always take a big hit around Monaco.
Yeah, definitely you are lighting the rears up. Lots of heavy braking zone, lots of gear changes. But definitely this has been an entertaining race. We are going to ride on board with this race leader, Bisas, who's absolutely dominated in the Williams. He's about to cross the line. DRS is open from backmarker. Huge congratulations to him. Takes his, absolutely stunning drive. So he wins. MLA is likely going to come home in second. Cliffy crosses the line in third after being lapped. Massive shout out to him for coming back and producing such a great drive through the field at one of the most difficult tracks to overtake.
You have to say MLA, if he finishes, brings it home now in second place, he'll be pleased with that. Bisas was too quick here, but second place is still really good for his championship, and he'll be happy with the 18 points.
Yes, definitely. So it'll be the championship will continue on to Canada, and it's only going to get more exciting. So here we are, waiting for the time to run out. We are on the final lap. Those who were a lap down have finished the race. We're only going to have 10 drivers who finish, Jono, 9 of which are in their cars. Of course, Cobblers is disconnected and wasn't able to get back into session, but he'll score a point for turning up and not retiring. But here we are, MLA crosses the line, and then we've just got James and Dan the Bluebird to come, and then we'll be able to run through with you guys the final results.
We always say at Monaco, if you can just bring it home, no matter how slow or quick you go, if you can bring it home, you've got a good chance of picking up at least a point, and that's what Cobblers will pick up there with his 10th place.
It's time for some podium celebrations. We're going to get some champagne as we see Bisas celebrate his win. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to the William team for winning both in the podium and the Pinnacle tier. We will quickly run through the order before we say goodnight. Bisas, MLA, Cliffy round out your podium position. Sean takes 4th, James takes 5th, Dan the Bluebird takes 6th, Clifford takes 7th, Jaw takes 8th, Aniket takes 9th. We've got, that is Cobblers who takes 10th, and then we've got the rest of the field who all DNF, so that's the 2 Ferraris, that's both Saubers, that is 1 Toro Rosso, and the Force India, of course. But penalty-wise, Jono, everyone.
Everyone, I think, by the look of it, yeah.
Other than the computer of Cobblers who kept it clean, but 7 laps down, everyone got at least 1 penalty, so they've obviously...
James Slater did okay there with just 1 penalty, and MLA as well.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, so that position between James and Dan would have been decided by penalties anyway, but yeah, good result, yeah. And thank you guys for tuning in. I thoroughly enjoyed that, as Monaco always provides an entertaining race. But Bisas, wow, almost a minute lead, and you have to say utter dominance. Jono-like.
I don't think he could have done any more there. That was just the perfect performance, and the rest of the field will be wondering how on earth they can improve enough to challenge him in the upcoming races.
Okay guys, well that's it from us. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back next week in Canada, 7 PM for the podium tier, 9 PM for the Pinnacle tier. I myself will be there It's Black Friday, lots of sales, lots of shopping. Make sure you head over to the website where we've got a sale on the shop where we sell official merchandise. I'm not going to reveal what it is. You'll have to wait until midnight on Black Friday to see exactly what offer we've got in store for you guys. But as I said, Jono, thank you for joining me. Been a pleasure to have you here, and we'll see you guys next week. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, and follow us on Twitter.